Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to another Live Purposefully Now live show for another Mindfulness Monday. Today, I'm continuing with our series of spiritual truths, and these spiritual truths, they shape and form our life as it is today. And they are the tools that, used for you and not against you, can change your entire future. And today's spiritual truth is our self-concept, or your self-image, or how you see yourself. And this truth gives you the power of intervention. And this power of intervention enables you to change the course of your future. And that makes this a pretty cool truth, right? Because it doesn't matter who you've been, where you are right now, you have at your disposal everything you need to change your future, starting right now, starting today. And as always, if you enjoy this broadcast, if it spoke to you in any way, please do share it so that we can share these tools with other like-minded people like us and help them to change their futures too. But first, let me introduce myself to those who don't yet know me. I am Elle Summer. I'm the creator of Live Purposefully Now, a website that I designed to inspire, motivate, and hopefully encourage like-minded people, me and you, to learn about and use some of these spiritual life truths that can change your life and your entire world. And you can check out the website for yourself and see if there are any articles that resonate with you, that might be supportive of you to become the greatest you possible. Maybe Jenny will put a link in and pin it to the top to make it easy for anyone to check it out, should they so wish to. And before moving on, let me begin to acknowledge the wonderful like-minded souls who are here right now. Okay, just a couple of us. There's a big shout out to Jenny White. Jenny is the one who keeps my Facebook page running smoothly. And honestly, without her, my page would probably not even exist. Jenny's own Facebook page is called Strong Heart Awakening. And if you haven't already checked it out, I highly recommend that you do. So who else do we have? We have Natasha Urban Angel from Toronto, Canada, sending love and light. Hello to you, Natasha. And clearly, Facebook is being really slow today. So for us three who are here right now, and for any other like-minded souls who join us along the way, let's begin with this spiritual life truth. Last week's truth was perception. And this spiritual truth, the one today, the power of self-concept, comes under a similar but slightly different category. Because the perception that we're talking about isn't the perception that we have of life, but the perception that we have of us. How we see ourselves as we interact with others and experiences and life in general. And this self-concept plays a huge role in our intimate relationships and the countless circumstances that surround us. And most of you who listen to this broadcast already know how to think and create using your understanding of spiritual truth. And you also know that the negative states of mind that we create by thinking negatively affect our very essence. Your very being is affected by how you persistently think and feel. And for most people, they go through their entire life without understanding this. And so they live without the ability to intervene in the way life experiences turn out for them. And please, my lovelies, don't be one of them. Because the concept that you have of yourself sets all the boundaries and limitations for your life. And you, dear ones, are one of the greatest creations on the planet. So your life should be reflecting this. And if it isn't, at least not yet, let's look at why. Beginning with, what exactly is this self-concept thing? And why does it have such a profound impact on our life? Well, at its foundation, it's like an internalized mental picture or image or idea that you have of yourself. It's how you think and feel about you based on your past performance in all areas of your life. And yes, that includes your relationships. And it consistently impacts your life view, your life experiences, as well as your level of happiness and fulfillment. Basically, your self-concept, the way that you view yourself, is the key to what you do and what you experience. And none of us, not you, not me, we can never rise above this concept for very long. It's the part of our mind that's controlling our behavior. And it's like, what is it like? It's like a regulator, like an autopilot on a plane. It's set on a course. And whilst we might veer off course for a while, our self-concept regulator always brings us back on the track for which it was set. And, obviously most of us have set our regulator not on purpose, not deliberately. It just happened along the way as we lived our life. And so suppose someone's self-image has them locked on to the idea that life is tough, that they're not lucky, that money is hard to come by, and relationships always end in heartache. That person might have a great week where life was flowing beautifully, more money came in than ever before, and their relationship was fabulous. And the next thing they know, things have gone back to how they always were, challenging. Have you ever experienced this? I know I have. And it's because their regulator sees the deviation from the course that's been set by their self-concept, and it kicks right back in to get them back on the preset course, just like the autopilot on a plane. Their behavioral pattern changes right back, which is why everything goes back to how it was. And it's the same with dieting. No matter how many times someone goes on a diet, have you noticed how often, before too long, they're back to being heavier than they want to be? It's because they try to alter things on the outside, change of food, maybe more exercise, without ever changing the concept they have of themselves, which is someone who's heavier than they want to be. And if we would but change the way that we see ourselves, we could change the boundaries and limitations that we've lived with up until now. And as you expand how you see yourself, you're expanding the level of possibilities that you have access to. And it's amazing how it seems to give you new capabilities, talents that you didn't know you had, and virtually turns failures into successes. And the beautiful thing is that you are free to choose the concept that you'd like to have of yourself. And this gives you that power of intervention I was talking about. The power to change just about everything in your world and change your future into the bargain. This process of rising up from your present concept of yourself to a new and higher one is the true means of all progress in your life. And that higher concept of you is simply waiting for you to give it birth. It's there. It's waiting for you to say yes to it. So begin by having an awareness that there is a higher and more wonderful image that you can have of yourself. That the self-concept that you've been working with for years isn't big enough. If you have a small self-concept, you build a tiny box around yourself. And a big or powerful self-concept creates a much larger box filled with more possibilities. Makes sense, doesn't it? And if you're wondering what your self-concept is, it's really not that hard to find out. Just look at the various patterns of your life. Take a look at the results you're getting in your relationships or your income or the general conditions of life, because these are all the outer expressions of that inner image that you hold, the self-concept that you have, the way you see yourself. And this, my lovelies, is key. You have built your entire personality, your behavior, and even your circumstances on your self-concept. It's the foundation of everything that you are, everything that you do and have. And therefore, your experiences, like mine, they verify and reinforce that concept that we hold. Do you remember the boomerang image that we spoke of before in one of the other life truths? Well, it applies here, because we get caught up in a vicious or a beneficial cycle, depending on how we see ourselves. And believe it or not, this concept that you have of yourself isn't based on reality, which is why it fits in so well with last week's broadcast, because it's based on your perception of who you really are. Actually, it wasn't last week's broadcast, it was the broadcast before, because last Monday was my birthday and I gave myself a day off. I changed my self-concept of somebody who had to be here, which is an easy one to do. I'm not taking any credit for that. But this concept that you currently have of yourself is something that developed gradually over your lifetime. And isn't it good to know that it's liable for change as you reflect and learn and gain more experience in the daily use of these spiritual truths? Our problem isn't that we don't have education or we don't have the experience or we don't have the money. Our problem is the concept that we have of ourselves. And if you aren't seeing yourself as the most amazing creative creature on the planet, you're looking at yourself the wrong way. If you would just change the concept you have of yourself, the rest will follow. More success, happiness, love, growth. And as I already said, this is the best news of all, because you are free, my lovelies, to choose the concept you have of yourself. And the easiest tool available for this is your imagination. This is always where our power lies. Through the power of imagination, you can now build your new self-concept, your new image of you, your ideal world. Imagine yourself to be the ideal you, the one that you wish that you were. And keep your attention on this imagined you. And as fast as you can completely feel that you already are this ideal, mentally, imaginally, it will manifest itself as a reality in your world. The invisible is made visible. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a system that is so fantastically set up that it doesn't make any sense that we're not using it to our benefit. And in fact, most of us use it more often to our detriment. So here's how you can begin. Create an image in your mind which shows you being the incredibly happy, successful one that you want to be in whatever area that you want. And then imagine people that you know, and they're talking about you, and you're not there. They're saying how lucky you are, how amazing you are, and what a brilliant life you're living. And then when you've done that, imagine that you're talking to these people. Maybe they're your friends, maybe they're your family, but you're telling them how everything changed for you and how it seemed as though miracles showed up. They showed up for you when you needed them the most, and how easily your life was transformed as you began to see yourself differently. So in your inner imaginary conversations, you're sharing with your friends, your family, everything about your success and the manifestation of a life that up until now you hadn't even dreamed of. And we know that there's plenty of research into human potential, and you need to know that you have unlimited potential in spades. You, dear ones, have been blessed with exactly the same mental faculties as the greatest among us. And I know that might seem hard to believe, but guess what? That's the concept that we have of ourselves, that it's hard to believe this, and we're going to dump that. So look at the Edisons or the Wright brothers, all the great artists and inventors in the world. They didn't have a different mind than yours. They just arranged their mind differently by the concept that they had of themselves. And I don't know about you, but I'll tell you what I know. I know that you are far greater and more powerful than you have yet realized. I know that because the vast majority of us never have the level of self-concept, self-image that is truly the greatness of you. And the more that you understand who you are, and the more that you deliberately choose who you want to be, the happier and lovelier your life will be. So I'm just saying, let's get to it. I've got some self-concepts that I'm working on too, because life is ever about growth. And so with that said, that's it from me for today. I'm off to do some serious imaginal work on a particular concept of myself that I'm choosing to change. And I hope that you enjoyed this broadcast enough to share it with more like-minded people. And I will be back soon with a little reminder to help keep us all on track towards that brilliant future that can be yours with a little inner work. And next Monday, same time, same place, with another live broadcast. Until then, my lovelies, may your week be filled with blessings. And I'm now going to take the time to chat or answer any questions or comments that we have here. So let's see what we have, if Facebook will allow me. Kimberly's here. Hello, Kimberly. Lovely to see you. And Debbie Wisecup Wells, good morning to you. Patricia Irons, hello and welcome, Patricia. Johnny Mack, hello to you. Bernard Behan, hello and welcome. Lovely to see you. Cheryl Smith-McRae, hey to you. Jackie Davids, hello, Jackie. Thank you for being here. Terry Calvo, hello. Ada Kamita Seabrook says, absolutely right. I'm glad that you see it that way, Ada. Annie Melcaps, hello. Kimberly, you make me laugh. Kimberly says, sometimes our regulator needs an oil change. That is so flipping true. Gabriel Jeans, many need a whole new regulator. I know, I've sometimes felt that about myself. Have you? Oh, heck, I need a whole new regulator here because the regulator I have just isn't working for me. But you know, the wonderful thing about that is that you know you have a regulator. And without that awareness, we can't change anything. So that awareness is a powerful thing. Give yourself a pat on the back if anybody's aware that they have a regulator. Never mind that it needs an oil change or a total change. Patricia Martinez, hello to you. Dolores Berry Messina, hey. Gail Stever, I see myself getting better with myself. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. It's like this thing about, the spiritual truths. They're wonderful and they're tools for us to use, but life is always about growth. So it doesn't matter where we are. If we are truly living our life, if we're truly living on purpose, then we're growing. And so things are always going to be changing. And that will apply to our self-concept. You might step out of a small box that you have and you might move into this big box and it's filled with new possibilities. And once you experience that and it's manifested in your world, believe me when I say that you will be ready for an even bigger box with even greater possibilities. I love this. I love this ability to expand, this gift that we have of expansion. Gabriel Jean's life is a constant journey to a higher self. That's just what I've been saying. Absolutely. I think you put it probably more succinctly than I did. Fiona Jarvis, hello. Natasha, hello to you again. Jenny Bowler, I'm not sure. Hello, Jenny. Deborah Beeler, Trudy Checkett friend. Jenny Bowler, thank you for your nice comment. I'm glad that it sounds like you enjoyed it. Janet Lee Wolfinger, so reassuring to know we can reinvent ourselves anytime. That's so true, Janet. And I will say for myself, I've had to reinvent myself on many an occasion. But because I know it's bringing wonderful things, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like joy. And if you approach it from the perspective of how joyful this is, it makes it so much easier. Savina, I see myself as beautiful, but that has been a process that took many years. I get that. Now she sees herself as this beautiful person. That is absolutely lovely. It sounds like you're a bit like me. I didn't have anybody sharing these truths with me over the years. I don't even know how available these truths were. I know they were there, but it's so great that I just feel so blessed that I have studied and practiced them for so many years that I can now just simply share them in the hope and with the blessing that other people can see themselves beautiful and successful and happy as you do, Savina. Sita Ramharak, hello to you. Mona Payrama, hello. Swapna, hey Swapna. Grace Jirija, Priyanka Bodki, hey to you. Adi, hello. Jennifer Croney-Williams, hey Jennifer, how are you today? It is nice to see you, Swapna. I know I was missing last week. As I say, it was my birthday. I gave myself a treat. Jan Hive, nice to see you. Jane Webster, hello to you, Jane. Marie Ann Cladd, hey. Rena Escol, hello. Ji Hung Mai, hey. Fiona Jarvis, traveled around the world. Good for you, me too. I think travel does broaden the mind. It does open your mind to new possibilities, to a bigger box, if you like. So I'm sure that has happened for you. Catherine De Silva from Trinidad. Oh, how awesome. Lovely to see you, Catherine. Fiona Jarvis, it made me stronger and helped me after the loss of 5 members of my family. Oh my gosh, my heart goes out to you. That is dreadful. I'm so sorry. And I have lost members of my family too, and it is amazing how it certainly doesn't feel like it at the time, but how you do gain strength. You do find ways to manage the grief and the loss, and I'm so happy for you, Fiona, that you have become stronger as a result of your loss. Rayla Nesco, I'm in the process of reinventing myself. Also plenty of oil changes and tire changes. I know the feeling. Isn't it great? We're all on this journey together. We're really all writing a page in the same book of life. And it's just how we approach it and what we do with it. But isn't it wonderful to know that whatever's going on in your life, that you are not alone, and there are ways that you can make a difference to who you are, to how you see yourself, to the limitations that you've imposed. It's really, I just love this stuff. I really, really do. Diane Butler, hello to you from South Africa. Rob Gibson. Catherine McGuinness, I'm 81 and not done. Yay, Catherine. I love that. You, my dear, are my new hero. Still growing and changing. Absolutely fabulous. Sherry Whitsey, hello. Good morning from Palm Springs, California. Debbie, a realignment of my journey was often necessary for the positive growth. I've always told myself I must pull myself up by my bootstraps to get out of the negativity, because my daughters were watching and they needed to see the difficulties were something we could survive and gain strength from, to be the positive women we are meant to be. Beautifully said, Debbie. And so much truth in it. Jane Webster loves the fact that she can reinvent herself. I began to think illness had robbed me of purpose. I need to find a new purpose. Jane, I understand entirely. I've lived through illnesses myself, through dire prognostications that I'm absolutely not going to accept, because here I am. I have purpose. I still want to grow. I still want to express. I still want to learn new things. So good for you. And I think that's it. So I am now going to love you and leave you. Bless your hearts for being here and for joining me on this live. And I do hope that one thing that I said totally resonated with you, and it's going to allow you and hopefully encourage you to continue this beautiful journey of growth that we're all on together. So if anybody has any experiences of reinventing themselves, please leave them in the comments, because I always come back and have a look. And it helps other people too. It helps others who come later to see the things that you've done by an oil change or a total regulator change. So bless you for being here, and I am going to love you and leave you.